Now we have saw a method of trial and error, and we know how can we solve an equation by trial and error method. But the trial and error method is a longer method in case the value of the unknown variable is a large number. Even it can become harder if the value of the unknown variable is fractional. At that time, we can't use the method of trial and error. So, we have a more scientific approach for solving equations, that is a systematic method. It is the best method when to solve an equation, to find the value of the unknown variable. So there are two ways of systematic method by which we can solve an equation. One is method of balancing, that means balancing method, and the other one is method of transposing method. These are the two methods by which we can easily systematically solve an equation, find out the value of an unknown variable. So first let's look at the balancing method. In the method of balancing, the linear equation is assumed as a weighing balance. Like you have observed that weighing balance has an equal amount of weight on both sides. So here also an equation must have equal values on both sides. That means if we are going to perform an operation on one side of the equation, we need to perform the same operation on the other side of the equation. So we have to perform same operations on both sides of the equation, on left hand side as well as on the right hand side. That means if you are adding something, if you are subtracting, if you are multiplying, or if you are dividing any number, you have to do that on the both sides of the equation. It means you have to add, subtract, multiply, or divide both sides of the equation by the same number, so that it can remain balanced. It can have equal values on both the sides. So let's try to solve an example and find out how can we find out the value of an unknown variable. How can we solve an equation by the method of balancing? Let's take this example. We are having an equation x minus 10 equals to 3. Our left hand side is x minus 10 and right hand side is 3. So see, we have to balance this. We have to find out the value of this variable x. It means we need to balance this 10 on both sides. Now see, we need to balance this minus 10. That means we need to add 10 to both sides. For minus you have to add, for addition you have to subtract, for multiplication you have to divide, but on the both sides of the equation. So we need to balance this 10. So what we will do, we will add 10 to both sides. So I'm writing adding 10 on both sides, on left hand side as well as on the right hand side. So I'm writing x minus 10 as it is, then adding 10, and then 3, again adding 10 on the right side. Okay, now see, minus 10 plus 10, it will get cancelled, right? So you are left with x equals to 3 plus 10 is 13. So you got the value of the variable here, that is x equals to 13. This is the solution of the equation. And see, the trial and error method was a long method. You need to substitute values till your left hand side will be equal to right hand side. But here you don't need to do substitute different values. You will get easily, you will get the value of the equation. Okay, let's look at another example. 4x equals 12. This is left hand side and this is right hand side. So here we need the value of this variable x. So we need to balance here this 4. So 4 and x, these are in multiply, right? Because there is no sign in between them, that means these are in multiplication. And so it means you have to cancel this 4 by dividing. Multiply can be cancelled only by dividing. So it means you have to divide both left hand side and right hand side by this 4. So divide both sides by 4. So 4x divided by 4, 12 divided by 4. 4 will get cancelled out and it's x. 12 divided by 4, that is 3. And you will get the value of the equation, that is 3. So that means this 3 will satisfy the equation and your left hand side will be equal to right hand side. Another equation is here, 5x divided by 2 is equal to 25. Now see, here you are having two things, 5 and 2. It means if you have to find out the value of x, 5 should not be there and 2 should also be not there. Okay, so first of all, for solving this equation, we need to make this equation as 2 is not there. Like we have to balance this 2. So see, 2 is in division, and division for cancelling out the number in division, you have to multiply that number. So we are going to multiply 2 on both sides. So see, 5x divided by 2 as it's, then multiply it by 2, 25 multiplied by 2. 2 will get cancelled out here. You are left with 5x equals to 25 into 2, that is 50. Now see, we need the value of x, so we need to balance this 5, right? So for this, we need to divide both sides by 5, because here this 5 and x are in multiply. So if we have to cancel this 5, we need to divide this 5. Then it will get cancelled. So we will divide both sides by 5. 5x divided by 5, 50 divided by 5. 5 will get cancelled out. You are left with x, and 50 divided by 5 is equal to 10. That means your value of variable is 10. This is how we can use the method of balancing. Let's try to solve the equations by the method of transposing now. And this method of transposing, it's very good method because it saves our times. We sometimes use this method of transposing to solve a linear equation, but this is the very it will consume our less time, because the method of balancing is time consuming method, but in the method of transposing, you will require less amount of time. So to save our time, we prefer to use method of transposing. Now what is this method of transposing? To transpose something, to transfer something, to change the position of something. And here what we do in this method, the side of a number or the variable side of a variable can be changed by changing its sign. That means if you are having any number or any variable on one side, you can change its side. You can take the number from left hand side to right hand side. You can take the number from right hand side to left hand side. But when you are changing the sides of numbers and variables, you have to change their signs also. That means if you are transposing something in positive, something in addition, that means for instance if you are having +9, it's just to make you understand. So if you are having something in positive and you are changing its side, you are transposing it from left hand side to right hand side, so this +9 will get changed into -9. If you are having -9, suppose on right hand side, and you are changing its side to left hand side, then this -9 will get changed into +9. Same, if you are having something in multiplication, that will get changed into division. If you are having something into division, that will get changed into multiplication after changing their sides. Okay, so it means you can change the sides of number and variable, but you have to change them with their sign. You have to change their sign also. Addition will get changed into subtraction will get changed into addition, multiplication will get changed into division, and division will get changed into multiplication. So let's look at the example. We are having an equation 2x minus 8 equals to 14. Now see, first of all, we are having here two terms, 2x and 8. It's a kind of a binomial. So first of all, we will try to make it monomial. So for that purpose, we have to transpose this 8. Now this is -8. It means it's in subtraction. Now after transposing, this minus will get changed into plus. So transposing -8 from left hand side to right hand side, it makes it +8. Okay. Now see, 2x as it's, we don't need to write -8 from the left hand side because we are transposing it. So we will write 14. Then we will write this 8, but in plus, in addition, because its sign has changed. So 2x as it's 14 plus 8, that is 22. Now it's a monomial, right? Now we have to find out the value of x, and for that purpose we have to transpose this 2. Now 2 and x, these are in multiplication. So we need to transpose this multiplication 2. So it will become division. It will come in division. So x as its, 22 as its, and 20 will be divided in the right hand side because we have changed its side. Okay. Now when you divide 22 by 2, you will get 11. So the value of this variable x is 11. So this value will satisfy this equation and it will make it its left hand side equal to right hand side. So this is the solution of the equation and we have solved it by the method of transposing. Now let's look at this equation. Here we are having x plus 21 whole divided by 14 equals to 1 by 7. Now see, first of all, we need to transpose this 14, which is in division. Okay. So for transposing 14, which is in division, after transposing, this division will get changed into multiplication. So x plus 21 as it is, 1 divided by 7 as it is, but we are going to write 14 on the right side because we have changed its side. But this time it will be in multiplication, okay, because after changing the signs get changed. X plus 21 as it's 14 divided by 7, that is 2 here, so we have written here 2. Now we have to transpose this 21 to find out the value of x. This is an addition. While changing this to right hand side, this plus 21 will get changed into minus 21. So x as it is, 2 as it is, then here we will write minus 21. When you subtract both of them, 21 minus 2, that is 19, and the sign of the bigger value will appear. Here the bigger value is 21 and its sign is negative, so it would be minus 19, that is negative 19. So the value of the variable x is here minus 19. It means minus 19 will satisfy this equation and make its left hand side equal to right hand side. So this is the solution of the equation, solution of this equation. So this is how we can solve the equations either by the method of balancing or by the method of transposing. Now you are able to solve any kind of equation by these two systematic methods.